Now this is a poem that I wrote after the moon landing. But anyway, so the somebody actually said that one night at this. Somebody tried to talk me into going to one of the Pittsburgh poetry things, and this person announced they were going to read that, and I left not to return. This is my first literary activity in 27 years. Pilgrimage to Los Alamos. Conventional wisdom said that our collective nuclear nightmare was history. The Berlin Wall had come down, the Soviet Union's economy had collapsed, and so ended the nuclear arms race. The year 1965 marked the 50th anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I had spent the last 2 years on the road, soaking in the beauty of America before facing the guns of Los Alamos, the birthplace of the atomic bomb. Years ago in the New York Times, I had stumbled across the fact that Los Alamos National Labs was the only place in the country that assembled plutonium triggers for both old and new refurbished nuclear weapons. So I made the decision to make a prayer pilgrimage to the labs of Los Alamos as a way of marking the commemoration of the unthinkable. Los Alamos is such a strange place. I couldn't even believe it when I got there. Now I know Oppenheimer wanted to pick a place that would be isolated and a good place to work, but he literally wanted to be right as close as he could to next to God. It was unbelievable. I've never gone up a road and you're actually going through the clouds. Los Alamos is located in northern New Mexico atop the Bujarto Plateau and the Gemmas Mountains, almost 1.5 miles above sea level. The air is thin, the water boils at 200 Fahrenheit. The flora of the high desert is unusually beautiful, lending a metaphysical aspect to the landscape. The beauty of the ride up the mountain road, the steep walls of the mesa that houses the secret city, cannot be expressed in words. You see the sienna-colored mountains, the gnarled Jupiters, and the wisp of clouds as you ascend the only road to where the Navajo once lived, evidenced by the Pueblo ruins, abandoned cliff dwellings dating back to 1225 AD. You only have to look east at the sunset to see why the mountains were called the blood of Christ. Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the nuclear bomb, had envisioned a laboratory in a beautiful setting that could be an inspiration to a scientist. After witnessing the first nuclear explosion named Trinity on July 16, 1945, he famously quoted the Bhagavad Gita. If the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the Mighty One. I am become death, the destroyers of worlds. Being in this violated paradise, I could not help but recall the old story of the Tower of Babel. And they said one to another, "Go, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly," and then had brick for stone and slime had there for mortar. And they said, "Go to, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth." At sunrise on January 2nd, 1995, the first working day of the year, I made my way through the driving snow to area TA-55. As I approached the entrance to the plutonium pit, this is where they make nuclear triggers, the only sound was the snow crunching beneath my feet. Finally, I came to the road that led to Hell's Kitchen. Once upon the facility, I walked towards the line of vehicles, waiting to gain entrance for another day of work. There were 2 sets of gates. The vehicles were locked in between them. As the security searched beneath and around them, as the next automobile entered, I slipped in and let the door come down behind me, then knelt down to pray for peace. Immediately a female guard turned to me and asked me what I was doing. Looking up through the driving snow, I replied, I have come to pray for peace. In her professional manner, the guard cried out, "Oh, shit."